released after a years-long effort. I'm Adedayo Elushakin. And we begin the major news this Friday evening with the discovery and bursting of a hideout used by members of IPOB by the police in River State and Oyibo local government of the state. Commissioner Police Okong Effiong made this known while showing off suspected criminals accused of terrorizing parts of the state. Effiong said 10 members of IPOB who played key roles in the burning of the Oyibo police station during the NSAS protest in 2020 were among those arrested.
That some IPOB members have started relocating to River State. We had to work on that intelligence and we discovered where they stay at Oyibo, an estate at Oyibo. And 10 of them were arrested. 4 of the arrested persons were identified as the key players in the burning down of Oyibo police station during the SARS riot. And one of them had been on the wanted list of the police right on February this year. So we are still working on them.
The State Commissioner of Police also said 7 out of 8 kidnappers who abducted a chief executive officer of an oil company at the Rumokoro flyover have been arrested.
There was a kidnapping incident that took place on Rumokoro flyover. Some of the hoodlums came to town to negotiate ransom. So in the process of that, we arrested the first person amongst them. Upon interrogation, he was able to open up. Then we followed subsequently. So we mobilized and went to that place. As soon as the victims were released, we stormed the camp. But not far from, were shot. 2 died and the other 2 were seriously injured. And right now they're in the hospital.
Also, CP Okong Effiong further revealed that operatives of the command stormed fake civilian JTF camps in Ahoda and Omoku and arrested over 7 suspects.
And we discovered that the people had gone for so-called training from the northeast and had come down to Port Harcourt to recruit people. And they said they were civilian JTF. We recovered camouflage uniforms, many. And in the course of investigation, we discovered that they had already opened up cells, even in Ahoda and Omoku. We have gone to Omoku and we have raided those cells and arrested the people, and they are in detention right now. I think there are 7 of them or so. And they have very wonderful ranks.
Also, while highlighting the achievement of the command within the last 3 months, he said 3 police officers were reportedly killed within the time under review and 1 officer sustained injuries.
The number of arms recovered within this period start at 21. Number of ammunition recovered 136. Number of vehicles recovered 8. Numbers of kidnapped victims rescued 11. Number of criminal hideouts raided 15. Total number of persons arrested during this raid 145. Number of illegal refiners discovered and destroyed 4.
Correspondent Soibi Uruwari reports that 21 rifles, 136 ammunition were recovered, while 11 kidnapped victims were rescued. 4 bunkering sites were also destroyed by men of the command between October to December. Moving on, hundreds of people have been displaced and their properties destroyed following a fire outbreak in Japan Street, the Lakahia area of Port Harcourt this morning. The fire, which started at about 11 a.m., razed a compound containing block houses and wooden makeshift buildings. Some affected tenants told our correspondent who visited the scene of the incident the fire was caused by a gas cylinder which was left on by a tenant who went to separate a fight next door, and they said they lost most of their properties to the fire.
We don't even bring out anything. Both money will keep there, we be say we will carry survive, nothing will bring out. As I did not like this, my life just dey frustrated. Both my small children, I don't know what to do.
I don't know where to start from because my money just got pulled. I don't know where to start from like this.
Dress obviously where I am now, so I don't have anywhere to even start from now. I don't have anything to even say hold on now. I'm really stranded for now. I don't have any 5 now with me to start from giving to a new baby, buy pampers, all these things. I don't have anything now with me. So I'm begging the government if any way they can help. It's assisting in any area so I can get money to feed my little ones.
The son of the landlord of the properties affected by the fire, Humble James, said the tenant whose gas cylinder caused the fire is on the run.
The fire started from one of the tenants, which he has run to his church already, where he is now. It's very painful and it's going to take a lot.
However, Head of Operations, Federal Fire Service, Rivers State Command, Abbas Regan says initial investigation points to adult-treated kerosene as the cause of the fire. Regan said the fire was later contained by the firefighters, and he said the fireman got injured in the process.
We were able to extinguish the fire, even though we have challenges over there because the road was narrow. So many people parked a lot of vehicles on the streets. I know our vehicle is very big, so it took us time to assist the seat of the fire. But so far, so good. The report I've gotten from my men, the situation is under control. Even though one of our firemen was injured because of the fire, we can't ascertain what was the cause of the fire. But based on what I'm hearing, I have to get the confirmation on it. But what we are saying is the whole fire kerosene. But we are still waiting to get the final report.
Now, Regan also spoke on ways to avoid fire incidents.
The only advice I can advise the people of Rivers State is to see how they can make sure they have fire extinguishers at home and they don't stop fuel at home. Many of you, they keep fuel at home because all this can equally cause fire. And also make sure the gas cylinder should be stored outside and cooperate with the firemen to do the job effectively because we're here to save lives and property.
To politics now, and Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike with other aggrieved governors of the PDP have arrived at Port Harcourt from London. Reports say the governors jetted to the UK on Wednesday for a strategic meeting. Now, there were reports of the G5 governors striking a deal with the APC presidential candidate, Bola Tinubu, although there is no official confirmation of this. Governor Wike spoke on this shortly after his arrival during the commissioning of Eneka Igboeche Road.
You can see people not being able to give out correct information. You see newspaper houses that are now running election. You see television houses now standing for election. We had an interview with BBC. We said we had a deal with so. No why, no video, no voice, anything. Don't you know that when I want to do something, I will do it? You don't need to speculate. So please, my dear people, don't bother yourself. That's why we had meeting with so and so. Assuming that there was a meeting. As I took another holding meeting with governors of APC, as is in Dubai. Don't you know what's going on?
Governor Wike also said politicians should focus on their campaigns and leave the G5 governors alone. Recall that the governor said he will reveal his choice of presidential candidate to support on January 5, 2023. And you might remember the 5 governors have consistently demanded that the PDP national chairman, Senator Iyorchia Ayu, resigns. And coordinator of Grassroots Development Initiative in a Che local government area, Ihaichukwu Iriegbu has commended Governor Nyesom Wike for flagging off the construction of Eneka Igboeche Road. While addressing newsmen at the flag off ceremony at Eneka roundabout, Iriegbu said the Eneka Igboeche Road project is a welcome development, saying it will decongest Port Harcourt and will contribute to improving the living conditions of Eche people. Iriegbu also assured that the GDI in Eche LGA will mobilize massively to vote for the PDP governorship candidate, Siminalayi Fubara, and all other PDP candidates to consolidate on the new Rivers vision. In the same vein, social political group Ekpeye Grassroots Forum is inviting traditional rulers, chiefs, clergymen, political and opinion leaders, women, youths and the general public in Ekpeye land to the flag-off ceremony of the construction of Ogbo Ihugbogo Road by Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike. The coordinator of the Ekpeye Grassroots Forum, Dan Igbudu, and Secretary Prince Orianu made the invite in a joint signed statement. The flag-off will take place tomorrow by 11 a.m. in Ahoda East local government area. And in another development, the PDP aspirant for the Kana-Gokana Federal Constituency in the last primary election at Lagos Yemabana says he will not pursue further the victory of Dumnamine Deko as the candidate of the party for the Kana-Gokana Federal Constituency. As you may know, an appeal court in Port Harcourt recently struck out Yemabana's suit challenging the victory of Deko as candidate of the party in the 2023 election. Yemabana, who is also the president of Ogoni Youth Federation, said this when the members of the Ogoni Sim Vanguard visited his hometown in Yobe Vanguard community in Kana local government. Now, he said his decision follows the collective interest of the party.
I am making the sacrifice I will be pronouncing in the interest of my great party, the People's Democratic Party. I shall cast my vote for Right Honorable Nomine Deko for House of Representatives in the forthcoming elections. I have made this decision in good faith, and I believe it is in line with the aspiration of what the Ogoni youth want. I have hitherto said it in all fora. Kashim Fubara is a young man, just 40-something years. We have been clamoring for a generational change, and the time is now.
On his part, the Chairman Board of Trustees of Ogoni Sim Vanguard, Ambassador Marvin Yobana, said the visit is part of its door-to-door mobilization for the PDP governorship candidate, Siminalayi Fubara, ahead of the 2023 election.
Today we are here to receive our brothers who went astray and they followed some persons who have said is Ogoni Town, Ogoni Governor. Now they have confirmed that they are going to support the People's Democratic Party candidate from the governorship down to the assembly. So we are very happy that Lebosi Ibabana, who is the youth leader in Ogoni land here, has made a solemn promise that the case he was holding against one of his brothers, Nomine Deko, that he is not going to proceed any further to the Supreme Court, but he will support him and he will even vote for him. So it's a welcome development. The Ogoni Sim Vanguard, we are here to galvanize support for the candidate of the PDP, Sim Fubara.
Our correspondent reports that the event also witnessed the defection of some persons from the Social Democratic Party to the People's Democratic Party. Well, still ahead, Army says abducted female soldier yet to be released. Just stay tuned. A magistrate court in Lagos State has remanded ASP Drambi Vandi at the Ikoyi Correctional Centre over the alleged murder of a lawyer, Mobolanle Rahim, on Christmas Day at the Ja roundabout in the state. Attorney General, who appeared before the Chief Magistrate Court, Yaba told the Chief Magistrate, Adeola Olatubosun, that the basis for the remand is to allow the police conclude its investigations into the matter. The magistrate later adjourned to January 30, 2023 to await legal advice. And the Nigerian Army says Lieutenant P.P. Johnson of Monday has not been released by her captors. Ms. Johnson, a new Kigwe in Imo State. In a viral video, one of the gunmen was heard vowing to deal with all 7 personnel of the armed forces. Nigeria company Shell Nigeria Exploration and Production delivered to Nigeria under stakeholders since it came on stream in 2005. It said the exercise will focus on the giant floating, production, storage, offloading, FPSO vessel which handles production at the field. Now, SNEPCO said the turnaround maintenance, the 7th since the field began operation, will, among other things, help to further deepen deep-water technology in Nigeria, as many indigenous companies and personnel will play key roles. The statement said the deep-water zone is, however, more complex as freezing temperatures, water pressure and pitch darkness makes oil and gas production in that area a major technical and environmental challenge. Shell, a world leader in deep water, set up SNEPCO in 1993 to explore for oil in the Gulf of Guinea. Now, Bonga, named after a local fish species, increased Nigeria's oil capacity by 10% when it began production. And has since produced 5. Singer Rema has surpassed 1 billion streams on Spotify after enjoying a stellar 2022 that saw the release of his debut album Raves and Roses and the highly successful single Calm Down.
And now, updates on the sports news.
Brazil's government has declared 3 days of national mourning following the death of football legend Pelé.
And now, we're bringing news from around the world.
Former President Donald Trump's tax returns have been released. It ends a bitter 6-year-long battle to gain greater insight into his finances. And that's it on the major news this evening. You heard police have burst an IPOB hideout and have arrested several suspected members in River State. Hundreds displaced after fire razes buildings in Port Harcourt. Governor Wiki and other G5 governors have arrived in Port Harcourt. At the foreign scene, Trump's tax returns released after years-long efforts. And that was the news edited by Master Okiri. Hazy weather expected in Port Harcourt this evening. And do remember, collect your PVC and vote. Your vote is your voice. Thanks for listening. I'm Adedayo Ilushakin. Good evening and compliment to the season.